once we identified this core story, we were able to quickly do some A/B testing of it also, like whether we should have a different product page or should we keep it integrated to Parkar. So what insights did you gain from this A/B testing about whether Vector should be a part of Parkar or should it be a separate site altogether?
We're still a services company. That's the core of the business. That's the core of the organization. But by adding the platform along, so it's not A or B, it's A plus B, and together it's a higher value proposition for the customers.
It's quite an interesting perspective. Like, this is the first time I'm hearing this, that we did A/B testing and now it's A plus B. So it's a great one. Hello everyone, and welcome to Power with Nitrous, from Vision to Impact, how Parkar built a powerful digital presence in 100 days. I am your host, Soumya, co-founder of Nitrous, and I'm delighted to have Gaurav join me in this call. Gaurav is the CEO and founder of Parkar. Welcome, Gaurav, to the webinar.
Thanks for having me, Soumya. Pleasure to be here.
Great. So in this webinar, we'll dive into how we transformed Parkar website in a cycle of 100 days, how we were able to achieve this with user-centric design, more about storytelling, how we understood the core of Parkar, and how we were able to transform the entire website in a span of 100 days. Just to set the backdrop about Parkar, Parkar is a global technology company specializing in transformative software, is a Microsoft Gold partner, and specializes in Azure-driven innovations. I guess we have 125 plus certifications, done already 400 plus projects, and we have 200 engineers, and an award-winning vector platform that ensures automated and efficient IT operations. Yeah, Gaurav. So my question to you is that what triggered the website revamp?
Yeah, thanks. That's a great question to start the conversation. So before we talk about where the website is today, just understanding the previous state is important. The focus just wasn't there from our standpoint on building a very solid site. We're operating more from a sales point of view, and the focus wasn't there on driving traffic online. And when we were doing some introspection last year, one of the top things was the customers couldn't relate to our work. The site wasn't speaking to the quality of work that our teams were doing. And so that gave us an opportunity to put the whole website redesign project as a priority one. And although, we had to prioritize across, should we focus on social first, should we focus on content, by doing our internal due diligence as well as talking to some experts, the number one thing that came out was you just need a really, really good site. No matter if you're finding your users on LinkedIn or if you're connecting with them on other platforms, you just still have to have a rock solid site, especially because we are B2B. And the number one validation for our buyers is looking at a website. They will not go on Instagram and look at some of the content there. They will just go on the website. So just realizing that that's our digital front door and it's our weakest link, that got us to realizing what was missing and addressing that as a high priority item.
Great. So in fact, once you had this clear, the website, so the goals of the website redesign was pretty clear to us, because generally when you are trying to figure out the goals, that becomes challenging. But then when you already have the goals set, then it's just to come up with approaches and solutions. So the goal that we had was to get a stronger strategy and positioning. We wanted to tell our story. So storytelling and the messaging has to be perfected. We wanted more of higher organic traffic, and we wanted to expand audience reach and perception about Parkar as a whole, because again, digital presence is where they get the perception from. And it was not just for buyers, it was also for the talent that we wanted to acquire. So having all these goals, This posed a
Yep.
great question to us. Are we positioning ourselves around what we are best at, or we are trying to say too many things? And over there, our approach was quite great, because then we benchmarked with the 10 companies that what they are doing, and once we realized the gap, we tried to see how we can position Parker. So what's the results that we found out when we were benchmarking with this top 10 companies, and what we understood from there, if you can just sum it up?
Yeah, there were two broad issues that we want to tackle. First was our previous site was on a legacy stack. And so this was, going in, building it in Webflow. This was one of the good decisions on our from our side, is using the right technology, because a lot of times, just because I have developers in house who understand certain technology and they're comfortable with certain technology, sometimes that drives decision making. We took a very focused approach, looked at our competitors, looked at some of the other emerging sites which have really good user experience, and looked at what are they doing differently. And we realized that the tech stack is dramatically different. And it's a very platform driven site versus building all the components in house. And then traditional ways, you build everything in house, then you put it, then you maintain it, and so on and so forth. Versus in the last few years, some of the newer technologies, especially technologies like Webflow, right, where you are now worrying less and less about technology and how am I going to support it and how I'm going to run it and things like that. You're more focused on what's the messaging, what are the consumers going to consume, how do I put myself out there, and you're less worried about the other nuts and bolts. So making the right technology decision, although it was out of a comfort zone, but we were very happy with the technology decision. That was one. The other problem we had to solve was what are we really good at, and how do we drive that to our audience? And that was again a moment of introspection for us. It's very compelling to say we're good at everything. Um, right? I mean, I play cricket, all of us here do, and we're all rounders, and we're all opening batsmen and also opening bowlers, right? But in the real world, it doesn't work that way. You have to
Yeah.
choose what you're really good at, and then you bring that to the table. And so, as service provider, we had to look at, introspect, and say, okay, are the 10 things? What are our customers most happy with our work? And so we had to put that in the center. That meant some new customers may not connect with us, but that also meant the ones that are connecting with us will look at us as experts. And so building that expertise and building that thought leadership was more important. And we took that decision to go down that path. That also helped us on the talent acquisition side. So as we're looking for fresh talent, and when people come and check us out, they want to look at us as an expert versus a generalist. So I would say there's no right or wrong answer there. It's just where we were and the decision we took. And sometimes it's a gamble. You have to take a call and you have to see how it goes. And we took those two calls on the type of positioning we want as well as the type of technology we want. We took a call. So far, the results are there, and we're happy with the results.
Great, great. And I guess the new visual identity that we found for Parker now tells a strong messaging that we are experts in our field. And the messaging also says that very clearly out loud, that these are the two things that we are do, and we are doing the best in it. And as an expert, so generally there are clients that would say that, okay, they are doing everything, let me go there. But then when you are an expert, then obviously, like, they come to you with a problem, and the solutions is what we give as experts. So I guess that has really worked for Parker, because now the messaging, branding, everything is point on onto that side of it.
Correct.
So the next thing that we did was we did an approach of measure, apply, test, and iterate. Once we identified our niche, that this the next thing was to align our core, and by decluttering the 10 things that we were trying to sell and two things that we were trying to really good at: Azure driven platform engineering and platform led services or managed services. Once we did once we identified this core story, we were able to quickly do some A/B testing of it also, like whether we should have a different product page, or should we keep it integrated to Parker. So, what insights did you gain from this A/B testing about whether Vector should be a part of Parker or should it be a separate site altogether?
Right, right. Now again, right, it was hard to foresee what will give the right results. So we tried both options. As a service provider in technology, we have to constantly keep building new things, right, to address the next curve. That's how we stay relevant for our customers. So all of us in the technology business, we constantly build products or accelerators, something that creates a differentiator for our customers. We also did that. Something that was very tempting was to put the product in front and then service in the back, because all of us always have a fascinating for products, right? Um, and so we tried that. And then we also did the opposite, where we put the services in the front and we said, okay, the product needs to be a back burner because we are not a product company, we're not a SaaS company. So we tried both of those strategies. The product had its own landing page, services had its own landing page. Users were constantly between the two pages, to two sites, the two URLs, and it just got confusing. And that again pushed us to, okay, we have to make a decision. Are we a product company? Are we a service company? Because that's really how the brand positioning needs to evolve. And thanks to Soumya and his team, you guys came in there, gave us the right recommendation, and we came up with platform-led services. And so we're still a services company. That's the core of the business. That's the core of the organization. But by adding the platform along, so it's not A or B, it's A plus B, and together it's a higher value proposition for the customers, as well as it defines what we do for our customers much better.
It's a quite an interesting perspective. Like this is the first time I'm hearing this, that we did A/B testing and now it's A plus B. So it's a great one, and actually it has helped us to identify that okay, even though there can be a scenario where products keep evolving, but the main core or the main brand positioning should always be what we are good at and what we are trying to pitch to the audience. And at the same time, Vector being the award winning platform, it accelerates them. So taking that into the service side of it and saying that it will be platform led services was a great move. And I guess we are seeing some good results out there with that.
Yeah, definitely. Customers able to connect with what we're doing. We just lead them to the landing page, and in 30 seconds, they understand what it is. Previously, it used to take us 30-minute walkthrough to help them understand, oh, what is the platform, oh, but you're a services company, so how does it connect? And the messaging was very confusing, and the storytelling was also all over the place. Now, with this more holistic point of view, and we drive all of our client meetings through our site. And so bringing that story together and putting it out there on a digital front door, that's been a big turnaround for our sales team. It's also helped us convert our new hires because they understand what we're building because it's all out there, as well as they can connect with it more easily. It's simplified our sales cycle. It's simplified our hiring process.
Great, great. Actually, that was one of the core target audience for us, and I guess that has worked. And when we were discussing these things, so we had a couple of solutions when we were doing the entire website redesign. So one of the main approach, because we wanted to solidify our brand identity and the core messaging, we wanted to make sure that we follow a design driven approach. So we started implementing, so with Parker, we started implementing a user centric design philosophy, and which does not just focus on looking good, but also onto the usability side of it, the functionality side of it. And again, the art of storytelling had to capture the Parker's messaging, the Parker's branding as a whole, right? And I guess currently with the new refined brand messaging, we are able to see that there are a lot of audience that are engaging with the site, and it has improved user experience. So the other part of the solution that we proposed was component based building. Now, as you mentioned earlier, that previously with the development cycle being longer, the marketing team would have to ship those requirements to the development team, then the cycle of the development was quite higher. And with Webflow, we were able to solve that. But at the same time, what we did in this enter was we did a component based building. So the idea was to break the entire site into smaller chunks of components, and when building it up, more of a Lego system, building it up however you want to for new pages. So this helped us, and the go to market was pretty faster with this, and that's where the 100-day cycle come in, because I've seen websites we did 40 plus pages in the website, and it generally takes 6 to 8 months in traditional development, where it was a 100-day cycle. So how has the GTM become faster, and how it has benefited us, if you want to quickly touch upon it?
Yeah, definitely, right? And the rate at which some of the large hyperscalers, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, some of the others, the rate at which they're making changes and making releases, right? A lot of that has to reflect back into our work as well. And so we don't have time. Sometimes we don't even have 2 to 4 weeks to make changes. Sometimes we just have to bring it much faster. And so adopting the Webflow platform as well as partnering with someone who understands Webflow, like the Nitrous team, right? That's been very, very helpful for my sales team, because we'll get a request that, hey, we put something out there as early as next week. And so sometimes you have to take we have to take components down and we have to add new ones. And that flexibility, as well as knowing that nothing will break as you're making these changes on the go. And we've been able to, there are days we're making 7 to 10 changes in a day, uh, 3 or 4 changes in an hour, and marketing teams making changes on the fly, knowing that nothing's going to break on the back end. So just having that comfort factor on the technology side, having the flexibility for sales and marketing teams to make changes rapidly, that's been phenomenal for us.
And I remember just recently this happened. So, first of all, congratulations on being the great place to work, getting awarded with the great place to work. And I just got a call from your marketing team, and they wanted to have that on the website. And it was a Friday afternoon, and they said that by what time it could be done. And I guess in a couple of hours, it was just done. And because there was some PR that it was getting released, so and some posts we were releasing, we were able to change the end, and great place to work badges have a certain guideline that has to be followed into the page. So we were able to quickly transform it, and we were able to just make it in a fly.
Yeah.
So it was a great thing with the marketing team. And by the way, congratulations on being great place to work.
Thank you. Thank you, and I appreciate all the support you guys have given to us, and I look forward to, many more such projects in the near future. And this has been a fantastic experience, and I would highly recommend the Nitrous team to everyone who's looking out to rebuild a site, build a new site, build a new business, anything you need. Webflow is a great technology platform. So my team, with them, you're in safe hands, and they'll meet your timelines, right? Versus the other way around. If you want to get somewhere in 2 or 4 weeks, they'll get it done, and that's important.
Yeah, that's really great to hear from a partner like you. And I am quite proudly I can say that not just we did the branding messaging, but also we really improved the performance of the website as well. So I just did some score test, Google Page Insights. I did some speed test onto the website, and we were having 91 in desktop, 80 in mobile. The performance was quite great over there. Accessibility, which is one of the main pointer when you are in US, that's like one of the gold standards for them. So we are 92 in accessibility, and the SEO is 100 on 100, and best practices are 100 on 100. So have you seen any improvement in terms of lead generation, traffic, or conversion, anything?
Yeah, so we're using the site extensively for content marketing and to reach out to our buyers. We're definitely seeing a much warmer response now because of the experience that the site's delivering, right? And the navigation, the overall UI as well as the UX that's coming out, the CX, right? So yeah, I mean, the result is there, the outcome is there, and To me, that's a more tangible metric versus like lead generation, because of the nature of our business, right? So, but yeah, we're using it extensively to engage with our buyers as well as share knowledge and content, and we're getting really good feedback.
Yeah. And not just like we did a great job. Your team was an hands-on support to us. Whenever we had a question, we used to get answers in a blink of minutes. And that's the reason why such a partnership helps, because then we are able to accelerate it quite fast. I remember that when we were running some parallel sprints, there were a lot of questions that we had because there were two developers, two designers working parallelly in those sprints. And all those questions was answered quite fast, and we were like the collaboration was bang on. Like whenever we had a question, we used to get the answer, and that was a great teamwork also. With that, we were able to build such a big website with 40 plus pages, and making sure that the website loading time is less than zero point 0.5 seconds. So we are quite delighted to have collaborated with you to make this website redesign a success.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's been a great partnership, and I'd highly recommend a similar model to everyone else looking out. And it's always teamwork, right? I mean, clients have to
Yeah.
participate equally well. I mean, it's our site at the end of the day, and it's our business, so it won't work well without collaboration. At the same time, you need a partner who's eager, who's willing, who's going to stretch the extra hours where required. So that collaboration, and you find a partner like that, and it's always going to be a winning combination.
Great, great. Thanks a lot, Gaurav. Thank you for giving this opportunity to us to help accelerate your website redesign process. And it was a great teamwork. And at the end, I would say that we will have more collaborations together in the future, and we would want to keep doing new projects, new things that come up for Parker. We are there for you all the time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Samya. Good luck to you guys. Talk to you soon.
Thanks a lot, Gaurav. Thank you.